We have a Democrat side who is arguing over Trump money without actually arguing over, that just tells me one thing. It tells me if they win, one of those two win, that means everybody who's not a Democrat in that small pond will not be listened to, as we've not been listened to for many years.
It's entirely preposterous that we're still arguing about Republican and Democrats when we can plainly see the issues that are happening on the ground in the city.
Voters Decide coverage now, and you saw it last night on KDKA+. Pittsburgh's Republican mayoral candidates clashing, vying for your vote coming up on May 20th. Brandon McGinley with the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette joining us again live in the studio. Thank you for being here, Brandon. And do you think there was a clear winner last night?
It's hard to say. I mean, it's very much clearly the undercard compared to the Democratic debate, just given the nature of politics in Pittsburgh. But let me put it this way. I think it's clear that when we're talking about public safety, Mr. Moreno was much more kind of in his comfort zone. When we were talking about economic development, Thomas West, the businessman, was much more in his element. And I think that throughout, I think I'd say that West kind of held his own a little bit more.
Brandon, let's talk about Tony Moreno. I mean, he was a Democrat,
right? Switched.
And, how do you think people see that? Do you think it's going to benefit him? Do you think he's ran before, attempted, right? So people recognize his name. They know who he is.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I mean, he has name ID. This is the first time in a very, very long time. I don't know how long, but it's a very long time that there's been a contested Republican primary in the city of Pittsburgh.
Right.
And so it's hard to know exactly what the dynamic will be. Typically, you would say, well, Republicans aren't going to go for someone who was a Democrat just 4 years ago. But Republicans in the city of Pittsburgh may be thinking about it differently for a mayoral primary than they would, say, thinking about a Senate primary, where that would be a total non-starter. So I think that the fact that he goes into it with name ID in a race where I don't know how many people would have been paying attention normally, that could be more important than the party switching.
All right, well, let's talk about Thomas West.
Yes.
So you mentioned before, he's a businnesman.
Yeah.
He's a former TV news producer,
yes,
by the way.
Exactly.
But he brings sort of a fresh set of perspective to all of this. Was he able to really push that agenda last night? Has he been able to do that in the campaign? Yeah,
I mean, that was the point he came back to again and again. Fresh ideas, fresh ideas. I think that, for instance, he talked about the deed transfer tax in the city of Pittsburgh, which is kind of a wonky thing to talk about. So it shows he's definitely been kind of looking at the budget and trying to figure things out. Yeah, exactly. More than you might expect, actually. So I thought that was interesting that not only was he talking about new ideas, but actually had a couple to offer.
Very interesting. Brandon, we're going to have you in the next hour to get you more insight on this race. Definitely interesting one, to say the least, right?